Drip, drip, you drip, 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 check. 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 Drip, drip, you drip, 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 check.
What's going on? It's Coach Williams, and this is the first ever episode of Drippin, where we're going to take players who have the best football drip and step into their cleats and see through their visor how they make big plays. And even though this is a play from 2018, I couldn't help but kick things off with Derwin James's incredible performance in a primetime game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So in the last episode of Ballhawks VR, we broke down cover 3. And today, we're going to be going back to cover 3 with Derwin James, where he's playing that seam, curl, flat defender that we talked about. So before we kick things off, we got to get started and get our drip game right. So here we go. Let's get that visor on. Let's get our settings going. Let's get the color right. And let's step into the shoes of Derwin James. So here we go. So let's talk about the situation here, okay? So it is 2nd and 10 early in the second quarter. And, the Steelers are driving. They're on the 22-yard line. They're on the left hash. And they've come out here and we can see they are in 11 personnel, okay? So this right here is a tight end that is not a wide receiver in the slot there. So we want to recognize that, okay? And we got Derwin James right here. He's lined up over that tight end, and he's playing that seam, curl, flat defense. So, as we talked about, what's his read? His read is from 2 to 1 to 3, okay? So, let's start the play off, and we're going to do it just a little bit slowly here, right? So, all right. So, the ball is hiked, okay? And Ben drops, okay? So, the first thing that we want to notice here, right? Derwin James is backing up. And if we can see all of the receivers, right? All 4 of the receivers, it looks like they're pushing vertically. Now, normally you would not want to do that, right? You would want to stand your ground and you would want to reroute this guy and get him out of the seam. And if you look down here, this DB here actually is doing a really good job at that, right? So he gets hands on, right? That's exactly what you want to do. But for some reason, Derwin James is backing up. And he's backing up because Derwin James has been watching film, okay? He understands that they're going to get hit with this 4 verticals concept, but it's really just a clear out. If you notice right here, they're leaking the back, right? So what I think he's trying to do here is he's trying to bait Ben, right? He's trying to bait Ben. Maybe he's trying to disguise it and make it look like it's cover 1 or something like that. But this is not what you would normally want to do in this situation. And I think he's doing a really good job of letting Big Ben think that they're about to get a big play here by throwing it down and checking it down to this running back, okay? The other thing you want to notice too is he's dead right about it. Because if you watch film on NFL quarterbacks, you will notice, not like in high school, not like in college, right? These NFL quarterbacks, when they get to the top of their drop, right? Let's watch Big Ben in his drop. When they get to the top of their drop, the second they hit that back foot, if the first read is open, ball's coming out. And that's exactly what happens. So Derwin James does a good job of baiting Big Ben into thinking this throw is going to be open, and then he drives on it. So we'll watch it in full speed now. Drives on that play, bam, smashes this guy, right? James Conner just knocks him to the turf. Let's watch it again in full speed, right? Bam, breaks on the football, right? And what are the other things that we talked about in the video in Ballhawks VR? We were talking about how the most important thing that you can do, right, is to not go downhill and chase this running back, but don't let him out leverage you, right? Keep your leverage and move to the outside. He does that perfectly here, right? We see, right, he's keeping his leverage point with the back. And the reason why that's really, really, really important, right, is what concept could this actually be if he's wrong? He can't see number 1 right now. It could be curl flat. So Antonio Brown could be curling up behind him. If he doesn't keep getting his leverage to the outside and not go downhill like that, right? Curl window would be wide open. If he just ran and chased the back, curl window would be open. Even though it didn't end up being a curl concept, he's still staying within his rules of the defense, even though he knows exactly what play they're going to run. That is really high level, high football IQ stuff, okay? So let's let the play progress here, okay? Bam. Perfect play by Derwin James, okay? And so now we can see it from the tight. Let's watch Big Ben. Let's look at his drop. Bang, back foot, ball's coming out. Derwin James smashes him. So that was a great play. That was a great play by Derwin James. And that's pretty much it, man. That is the first ever episode of Drippin with Coach Williams, okay? So we're going to be breaking down more players. We're going to kick it off with the DBs for now, but we're going to do more players, more positions, different things. But for now, I want to kick it off with Derwin James because he's probably the DB that's got the best football drip, I would say, arguably. If you don't agree with me, leave something in the comments. Let me know who you think has better football drip, and I'll start breaking down plays for them. So that's pretty much it for today. And as usual, it's Ball Hawks, Coach Williams, we fly. I'm out. Peace.